Horned one, lover son, leaper in the corn, deep in the mother, die and be reborn. Horned one's lover son, leaper in the corn, deep in the mother, die and be reborn. Horned one, lover son, leaper in the corn, deep in the mother, die and be reborn.
Hi, this is Dancing Rabbit, and welcome to another Saturday, on Sunday morning, Pagan Perspective. This week's topic is food magic and magical food. I consider myself a kitchen witch for a couple of reasons. For one thing, I've always enjoyed and been fascinated by cooking, putting things together and stirring them up and heating them, and they transform and become something totally different. Also, my style of magic is more folk magic than high ceremonial magic. I tend to use the things at hand and do it in a rather informal way, making it up as I go along and being creative, but sometimes using other people's recipes. This morning I'm going to be making a breakfast meal that I called Sun and the Moon. It's really something that I do more camping than I do in the kitchen, but you can basically do it anywhere you want to. Here's the ingredients that you're going to need. You're going to need a slice of bread, an egg, and 2 pieces of bacon. I'm making 2 of these, one for myself and one for my wife Cindy, and I like to put a real thin slice of red onion in mine, so I'm going to do that with mine and leave it out of hers. You also need some cheese. You can use a slice of American cheese or Swiss or whatever you prefer. I'm using some shredded cheese because that's what I've got, and it's really a little easier. It melts quicker. You'll need a knife, and I do most of my cooking with a fork, so I've got a fork ready. Salt and pepper to taste. I like Tabasco, so I've got some Tabasco. If you don't, leave it out. Okay, first you slice the bacon in half because you don't want really long bacon sticking out of the side of this thing. And next I'm going to slice my onion really, really thin. Next you get the skillet hot. I prefer to use an iron skillet instead of non-stick, because you don't have to be so careful with it. And really, things don't stick to an iron skillet anyway. So, get your skillet hot and fry up your bacon. If the bacon is really lean, you might consider adding just a little bit of cooking oil to it so the bacon doesn't stick. But like I said, if it sticks to the iron, it's real easy to get it unstuck. So I'm going to let that cook. I'm going to flip it over once, make sure it's nice and crispy. Okay, the bacon is about done. Flip it over one more time. So I'm going to put the onions on mine, and I'm remembering it's over on the right side so I don't get them confused. And let it sizzle just a little bit. Okay, now comes the magical part. You take a piece of bread and you tear a hole in the middle. I guess you could use something like a cookie cutter, but I just tear it. And you put the bread on top of the bacon. And you crack the egg into the hole. Those are kind of extra big eggs, so they kind of lap over a little bit, but that's okay. And you let it cook. Once the eggs look kind of kind of sunny side up, you flip it. And this is the only really tricky part, to flip it. But if you make a mess, it still tastes good. So you quickly flip it. I know it looks ugly on the bottom side, but it still tastes good. And you flip it. Lost some bacon. Okay. And you let it cook on that side for just a little while. After the egg's cooked on the top side, you very carefully scoop it up and flip it one more time. You flip it one more time. Okay. A little Tabasco on mine. A little ground pepper on Cindy's, little on mine. And sprinkle on some cheese. Now if you do this just right, you can see the sun and the moon in it. The sun, the yolk of the egg, and the moon, the white around the yolk. Let it cook until the cheese is melted, and it's done. I let it drain for just a few moments on a paper towel because the bread does soak up quite a bit of bacon grease. But if you're out camping and hiking through the woods, a little extra bacon grease doesn't hurt anything. In fact, it probably actually helps you get through the day without getting all hungry and famished along the trail. Served up on a nice plate with a slice of watermelon and some cold milk makes a perfect breakfast. So till next time, this is Dancing Rabbit saying bon appetit.